What is happening to the People's National Party or the PNP? This is an election year 2025, and I would have thought the PNP would be extensively on the ground, working the ground, working in various parishes, working in various communities, going across communities, doing community meetings, etc. Because the PNP is at a disadvantage in the sense that they are not in power. And the fact that they are not in power, they do not have the media's attention and do not have the access to the media as the current GLP, particularly the Prime Minister. They do not have that sort of machinery at their disposal in terms of for coverage of almost all events and most events. So they are at a disadvantage in terms of they are behind the eighth ball as it relates to that phenomenon. However, the People's National Party machinery is not evident in this campaign period, and it seems as though the People's National Party has moved away from dealing with the issues and the soul and heart of Jamaicans. Many people do not feel the People's National Party, and I'm on the ground as a researcher, have been speaking to persons, have been observing things that are happening, even in the parish of Manchester, particularly central Manchester. People are not feeling the caretaker candidate for the People's National Party, which is the current mayor of Manchester, Mandeville, I should say. No, I am somewhat concerned about what is going on in terms of the vibe that is on the ground in terms of the PNP machinery, as in the sense that when an election year is actually going on, you would see that on the ground machinery, on the ground vibe in terms of both parties. What I am seeing is a vibrant machine structure of the Jamaica Labour Party, well oiled, well functioned, well groomed, and are not selling a rhetoric, but is selling what they have done, what they are intending to do, etc., which is laudable and must be accredited for what it is that they are doing. But when I'm looking at the People's National Party in terms of its machine and what is actually going on, I see them lagging behind as though they do not want to contest the election. I'm getting that sort of feeling, somewhat lethargic. They are going out, they are doing things, but I'm not sure other person would want to argue with me and say, yes, it is actually happening, Paul. If it is, I want to sort of see it and I want you to tell me where it's happening, but I'm not seeing it. And I have been doing work across the 14 parishes in Jamaica, possibly 15, and I'm not seeing that thrust, that drive, that momentum, that machinery on the ground. The PNP seems to be dead, lethargic, frustrated, and wanting more time to campaign. They do not seem to be ready for this election. They are working in spurts in particular areas, are doing work in particular areas, but that old machinery of the People's National Party is not seen. What I'm seeing is a flip of that script. The GLP seem to have taken over the PNP's machinery and the PNP structure way of doing things, so much so that they have mastered it and the PNP is now caught behind. Or is it a change in the times? Possibly it's a change in the times. And what we are seeing is just simply the child has become a man. And the fact that the child has become a man, the child is now doing manly things. And when I say the child, I'm talking about the GLP infant is now a man in the form of the Prime Minister and the persons who are in his cabinet, as well as his MP and his caretakers. They seem to have grown up, and because they are grown up and they reach a stage, they have now understood what it means to be a child, they have understood what it means to be an adult, an adolescent, I should say, and know they are men and they are operating as men, and they have mastered the art and craft of doing things for the country, doing things in terms of the people, selling them a vision, selling them an hope, and broadcasting and promulgating its message as to what it intends to do. The People's National Party, on the other hand, is still in this embryonic stage and have not come out of the shell and have been caught. And I'm saying the People's National Party need to look at what it is doing. What we want in Jamaica is competitive elections that no one can think that these are done. We don't want to go back into any done, into the political done, as in the case of years before, where there was a particular done of a part. We do not want to get into that. We want to get into a system where Jamaica political machinery, structure, government is defending the people and no done. And therefore, if we don't have a well oiled, properly functioning opposition, that will not occur. And the People's National Party is to lose the next election because they were lethargic and left behind, because they were in the embryonic stage of development. What it will mean is that the JLP could actually get away with doing a number of things that it ought not to, because absolute power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. We don't want that. What we want is, if the JLP retains its power in government in Jamaica, that they understand that they were placed there by the people, that there is effective representation from the opposition, and therefore they are minded and guarding what they do. And as a result, the Jamaican people will get the best out of the JLP. That is, if the JLP remains in power. Something's happening to the People's National Party, and I'm asking the question, what is happening? I'm asking the question, what is happening? Because the People's National Party is currently lost behind the eighth ball. I want to hear your comments. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel as I continue to provide trusted information for you to use to make a decision. Where is the People's National Party? At one point, there was a song to say someone was hiding from Joshua. Now, should we flip the script and to say the PNP is hiding from Dr. Holness? Let me hear your thoughts. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel.